in theaters now is Darren Aronofsky's The Whale, based on a play starring Brendan Fraser, Sadie Sink, who you would know as in the basic terms, the red-haired girl from Stranger Things, and as her mother, Samantha Morton, and actress Hong Chow, who you may have seen recently in The Menu. So The Whale is not a lot of laughs in The Whale. The Whale is about Brendan Fraser, who is a homebound, morbidly obese man who teaches college courses, writing courses online through Zoom. But his camera is always broken, so nobody knows what he looks like. And basically lives sitting on the couch with his friend Hong Chow, who I mentioned earlier, who is a friend of his who's a nurse who checks in on him regularly. And his health is in pretty deep decline. He is suffering from congestive heart failure. She says at the beginning of the movie, he probably will not last the weekend. And the film is structured with, at the beginning of each sequence or scene or act of the film, you see Monday, Tuesday. And she says he probably won't live to see Saturday. So as the film progresses and you see each one of those days get closer to Saturday, it gets heavier. So basically, he's a pretty upbeat guy, despite being not long for this world and in not good physical health and having a really hard time getting around. But he tries to maintain a good attitude about life. And the film, at its core, is him trying to reconnect with the daughter he abandoned when she was 8 years old. I believe it was about a decade earlier, 8 or 10 years earlier. So she's a teenager, very troubled teenager. That's Sadie Sink, and he wants to sort of make right with her and spend some time with her and get to know her because he knows his time is very, very short. She does not. And it's the majority of the film is this push and pull between her. She is very rebellious, very unhappy, very angry, very just kind of a nasty character overall. And he's this upbeat guy who wants to show her that people are amazing and life is wonderful and she is amazing and she has a great talent and do good in school and you can do amazing things. So we haven't seen Brendan Fraser for a while. And this is being touted or discussed as his big comeback film, as his perhaps award-winning performance. And I can't disagree. He's really good in this. I've never been a major Brendan Fraser fan. I saw some of the movies he made when he was initially a big star, and the Mummy movies were okay, and most of what I saw, I loved Gods and Monsters that he was in. For me, it was always more about the movie than him. But this is maybe one of the first times that I've witnessed him acting, like doing, really losing himself in a role and being really great, which is not to say that he wasn't in other things that he saw. I just tended to see the big bubblegum stuff that he did, and a lot of it in the 90s that he made really didn't appeal to me. He did a film called The Passion of Darkly Noon that Arrow has out on video that's very unusual. I really didn't like the film, but that was another more straight-on dramatic role that he did back then. So anyway, in The Whale, he acts under a lot of prosthetic makeup. He doesn't get around very well, but there are occasions where you see him in the Altogether to really get across the idea of what kind of condition his body and health are in. Everybody in this is good. Samantha Morton appears pretty briefly as his estranged wife. There's another actor who is, really, I should look at his name because there's only Ty Simpkins. There's only a handful of people in this movie, and Ty Simpkins is this door-to-door, missionary who's trying to, spread the word and help this guy find God in the time that he needs it, and he feels like he was brought there for a reason and all that. And as the film goes on, you learn more about all these characters and how they're related to each other and the sort of tragic background that ties everybody together. The Whale is really quite good. As I say, it was based on a play, so it really kind of takes place all in one room, or maybe a couple rooms of a house. It's the living room / kitchen of this apartment that Brendan Fraser lives in, and then maybe a bedroom or two and a bathroom. It's really pretty contained, as a play would be. But it works for this film because, sometimes I'll watch a movie that's based on a play and it'll feel it. I'll be like, yeah, it's 4 characters and they never leave for some reason. But this makes sense because this guy really can't leave his house. He's too out of shape and his health is too poor for him to be able to do much other than sort of move around his house with a walker just a little bit. So it's not a happy film. There is joy and light and positivity in the darkness. There's light in the darkness of this film But overall, it kind of tells you where it's going. It is about a lot of people who are unhappy for various reasons, and this one guy who everything should make him just a miserable person, but he's not. You know, despite his situation, he still sees the good in people and the wonder in life, and tries to spread that to other people. So be prepared to, again, not walk out of this film smiling or clicking your heels or whistling a happy tune. But The Whale's pretty good. And it is an art house film that is, I see it locally where I am. I see it at some AMCs. So in some areas, you're going to really have to travel to go see this. But in other areas, your multiplex may have it. So I'm sure this will be an Oscar contender. I'm sure this will be a Golden Globe winner. And once those announcements come out, I think a lot more theaters will pick this up. But in theaters now, Brendan Fraser is in The Whale.